All right, we are live, guys. Once again, Shootin the Shizz with DK and the Schwag, and we're here with the big three, including you, Mr. Wagner. We got Douglas Tait, Jackling Sasquatch. We got Pluto, Super Freddy himself. You guys have all been a ton of things, so it's hard to name it all. Mr. Michael Bailey Smith, welcome once again to the show, both of you guys.
It's the ball-headed duo, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So I'm in Tennessee doing this Smoky Mountain Fan Fest, and I'm I always rent a car. I don't like having to, be at the mercy of whoever you're working and have them come pick you up.
Yeah.
And I'm driving to my favorite burger place that they have in the Midwest and in the East Coast, Freddy's Steakhouse and Shake Place, and for God's sakes, there's a damn truck in front of me, and there's the Sasquatch Jack Links laying across on the back of the bed of the truck, and it's Doug Tait in his full glory.
You saw one up there?
I saw one, and I couldn't get my camera up in time to get a picture of this thing, and it was on the back of this guy's tailgate in the middle of Sevierville, Tennessee. So, Doug, someone loves you out here in Tennessee.
Let me just tell you, I'm finding them. People are tagging me in them. They're all over the states. Like I got them in Ohio. I got it in Florida. I got it in Mississippi. Like I've seen so many of them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Every time I go into Walmart,
image of me laying down with the raccoon, right?
I mean, Burt Reynolds couldn't do it. It didn't do it as well as you did.
That's true.
Crazy.
It's the hairy chest.
Yeah.
Every time that commercial comes on, I'm like, I know that guy. It's pretty cool. So
yeah. Did I ever tell you that I auditioned for Hills Have Eyes?
Did
for
you?
That character?
What character?
For the character you got. I auditioned for it, got a call back, and then didn't hear anything about it. And then Michael obviously got it, but it's interesting. I went out for that one.
I remember that audition. And actually, they had me read for another character. It was for the character of Pluto, but because he didn't have a lot of dialogue, it was for Robert Joy's character. I forgot the name of it anyway. But that character. So I did his character, then I scared the living shit out of him. And Mary Magdalena was there, the producer, and Alex Aja, and so that was it. And I said, okay, I walked away. I ended up getting it. I don't know.
Yeah, Alex Aja. I remember that. Alex Aja.
Yeah. It's funny when I when they had me go and get fitted and things like that, they said, have you watched the original? I said, no. I said, don't. I want you to bring your own shit. Don't watch it. Don't get influenced by anything. So
cool.
And then a few years later, I did a autograph signing in Amsterdam, and Michael Berryman was there. So we met in London, and we spent the evening together, having dinner and drinks, and he's pretty awesome guy, man. So,
he's a great guy, very smart guy. His dad was a doctor.
Weird Science, all those kind of awesome movies he was in. So,
Weird Science. How about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Berryman's career goes back so far, and one of the guys that, as we all three know, it's tough to last in a business like this. Yeah. And but Michael has done it for I mean, over 50 years at least.
I know people have always asked me, well, either one of two things, either say you can never be Michael Berryman. I'm like, okay, I know that I'm not. And then two, when they ask me about him, I give him the greatest praise possible. I could never do what he does, and he probably couldn't do what I do. So you know how that is. We all bring our own special gifts. I can't do what Brett does, and I can't do what Douglas does. So I can't.
I beg to differ.
No. It's true. We
all have our own thing, which
special sauce. Yeah.
If we were to audition for a role, it could go to any one of us, but it just depends on, who fits it as far as what they see. You know, it's all perspective on when you're casting. When I read people for my movie, I thought, man, oh my God, there were some people where I was like, oh, they're so good, but they just didn't fit, you know. And then other people that maybe not as good as some of the ones that I casted fit the role, the look, you know, different things come into play.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'm going to be being Brett and John's position. But have you ever gotten a role where it wasn't really quite the right fit, but you had to fight through it to do it? Like something, you know what I mean? There are some roles where I've done it just like it felt like a glove. I didn't have to try nothing. It was just I just crushed it, right?
Yeah.
Like I did Nash Bridges. I played a character named Iron Mike Willis. I guest starred on it, did a couple episodes. It was great. It was like freaking easy. It was just fun. It was fun. It was a great time. But there's other times I'm like, holy shit, this is like, I just don't feel it. Is it hard? You know?
Yeah. There's ones where I feel like the dialogue is just so smooth, and it's just very conversational, where you don't even, doesn't take long to memorize and feels like it flows. And then other ones where you're like, oh my God, I can't even memorize this thing. I was on this show Legacies and played a bunch of characters, and man, some of the dialogue was just so tough to read, to get in your head. I don't know. It just didn't flow the way I, you know, it's that. It's like Doug Jones told me, he's on Star Trek and he plays like an alien character. And he said, it is the hardest thing memorizing those lines because it's not how we talk. So it's not authentic. So like to memorize lines that aren't conversational are so difficult. You know?
100%. I mean, I did a show called MDs. Where I was about, you know, doctors singing. And I got this role and I was so excited because I was playing a young father and I had a kid and I had to, you know, had to shave and I was clean shaven. And I was so excited until I started getting into the dialogue. And I'm like, I don't know how to be a young father. I don't know how to be, I'm not a dad. I'm like 30 years old. What am I? And then I panicked. Yeah. And then I got on the set and I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to work through this. And, you know, hopefully they'll come up and say, you know, the director a couple of times will come up and say, can we try this? And I'd be like, okay. You know, and I'm trying to think of how my dad would do it, right? What can I do? I'm not a dad. So let me just think of my favorite TV show. Let me think of some people that are dads and let me think of what my dad would do. And then I'm on an operating table and they canceled the show in the middle of us filming. So everybody left the room and then they canceled the whole damn series and everybody was crying out in the other room. And I was like, and I'm hooked up to all this stuff. I can't leave. Really? I'm like, well, that saved me from making a fool of myself playing a young dad, but you guys got to get me out of here.
I have never heard of that before. That's crazy.
They canceled the whole thing.
In the middle of your scene.
In the middle of my scene. And everybody left the room and I was like, okay, because, you know, I couldn't get unhooked and they had taken a break before and I was like, that's all right. But then I heard everybody crying and I'm like, well, this is not good. Something just happened. And then finally I'm like yelling, hey. And then some guy comes in 15 minutes later. He goes, I don't know what to tell you, but they just canceled the show. And I'm like, what do you mean, the whole thing? And he goes, the whole series. Wow. So we're not even finishing. So I said, we're not going to finish this episode. And I remember the first thing I was thinking, well, I still get paid, don't I?
Oh,
yeah. Yes.
Oh my God.
Now, at this age, if that ever happened, I'd be like, damn, I want to finish, you know, let me get my footage at least.
Yeah.
But yes, sometimes it's much easier, obviously, to do things that we know, that anytime I'm playing a bouncer, for God's sakes, I did it for 30 years. Anytime I'm playing a biker, I am a biker.
I have to say, I think you would have been fine. I think you got two in your head. Being a dad is just like being a person. You're just talking like you talk to anybody, but you're talking to your kid. So I think you would have been fine.
That's because you two guys are dads.
And that's why I'm able to tell you that, right, Michael?
Yeah, that's right. You are.
Michael.
Yes, sir.
Am I not right? Like, you know, you're just a guy who has a kid, and you're talking to him like you talk to anybody. You know?
It's like when you talk to your dog and you tell him, "What are you doing? Get out of that." That's the same thing. Quit eating the poop. That's what you do. It's the same thing. So.
It depends on the age. If they're younger, you talk to them a little more like a, "Hey, do you understand?" But if they're like you met my son, Brett.
I love your son. He's a good kid. Yeah.
You just talk to him like, you know, anybody, you know.
Yeah.
Way it is.
That's cool. You see my shirt? It's stand
Pluto.
Oh.
That's a nice one.
It's Brett.
Wow.
Yeah, not too bad. It's a Hills of Ice shirt. It's rare. It's a rare shirt. You
gotta bring that out this weekend.
Yeah,
have that out there.
Yeah.
I still love that fight scene in The Hills Have Eyes, man. It's one of the best fight scenes in a horror movie ever. I don't care. That's a battle.
It was great. If you go on YouTube, you can see like some outtakes. There's one because that was all me, and I'm not typically a stunt guy. You know, I'm a physical dude, right? When it comes to high falls and burns, I have a stunt guy named Tim Satars or Bubba, right?
Tim.
Yeah,
Bubba.
yeah. So he's my double on stuff, and I've gotten him in a lot of movies. But for this one in Morocco, they said you're gonna have to do it. And I said that's great. I don't mind doing it, and it's stuff that I could do. I could do fight scenes. You know, I train, martial arts and things like that, so I can handle myself pretty well. And so they had me with it's a real axe. You know, one side's a pick, the other side's the blade, and I had to take it and cut across this window. You know, I'm running full speed through this double pane glass door situation, and it's a real door, real glass whole situation, and I go blasting through that. All these things. I backed up probably about 20 yards, 25 yards, and just sprinted. And bam, through that. And I was worried that the pick would, jab into my chest or into my face or whatever, right? The first take, I got done, bam, and they called cut. After I got done, and we're like, yeah. I'm like, fuck yeah. You can see me in the outtake just doing it because I was so freaking happy. I get the whole, because of playing football, I wanted to stick my head through someone's chest. And,
You didn't start a football chant after?
Yeah, Morocco. Yeah, that'd be good. So
did you film that in Morocco, you said?
Yeah, in a place called Ouarzazate. Yeah. So
can't imagine the heat.
Yeah, it was about 105 to 100 and sometimes 15 every day. So it was pretty crazy. Yeah, it was good though. They had a gym because everywhere you go, you all know that. Everywhere you go, you got to find a gym, right? And if you're out there in location somewhere, you got to find a local gym. And I remember there's, in Morocco, it's right on the edge of the Sahara Desert. So many crazy stories about that place. I was there for like 2.5 months, and I found a gym. It was at the basement of this guy's house, and it was like an open gym, but it was like these garages that drive in, but he shut it off. It was the worst BO smelling place. When you walk in, you have to catch your breath because it's so bad. But you get used to it after a while. And it had like old pictures of like Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno on the wall. And, I come walking and they're like, oh my gosh, whatever. And so it's kind of cool. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about this before. I know that, I'm about to, I think I'm not coming home. I mean, I'm coming home, but I'm home on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then I fly out Thursdays for the next 9 weeks.
Wow.
I was like, if people are going to book me doing the conventions, I'm going to do it. Me and John are doing a whole bunch of shows together. Us three, we have the start of, the big convention circuit going on next week with Denver and Crypticon. I've watched Doug Tait. He sometimes does his working out in his hotel room, stuff I can't do, but he's doing a little yoga and some stuff in his hotel room. So I have been, obviously I go down to, I did it this weekend. I did 2 days out of the 4 days I was in our hotel gym. So it's sometimes nice, but watching Doug Tait do his exercises in his hotel room that he sometimes does in a chair is very impressive.
Well, I got to the point where I'm like, I don't need a gym. Obviously it's nice if you have one, but I found ways to make it happen in a small room if I have to. That particular time I caught COVID in Canada. They wouldn't let me leave the room. They had some sensor where my key wouldn't work if I left the room. And so I was just like, well, I need to get a workout. I'm feeling better. So that was that.
I figured you'd start bear wrestling now, especially after your last experience over the winter.
Oh yeah, man.
Really test your strength out, you know?
Yeah,
See
exactly.
what kind of big man you really are. Fight a brown bear.
I don't think so.
No problem. We got some great people in the chat. We got my buddy Interval, Lonnie, who will be joining us. He's going to come help out in Crypticon. My son's here, Devo. He'll be coming to Crypticon along with my parents. So saying hi to them. Michael Toth, Doomsday's crypt artist.
Yes.
Yes, he's a beast. We got some of his stuff here. We're gonna have a lot of his work being seen out at this event. Thomas Bruce is here, who's producing those VHS boxes, and
nice.
I cannot wait for Crypticon Colorado, guys. I got to tell you, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be cool to meet Michael in person. Of course, I've met Doug several times last year, and Brett, you know, talk to him pretty much every day, and I see him every day because he does video calls, so we talk a lot. So it's almost like being in the same room. So I'm excited.
You will be surprised. You'll be surprised how big Michael Bailey Smith is at 5'8". It's amazing. He looks. He's a giant dude. No, you know what? It's obviously we're all excited about Crypticon Denver. You know, Crypticon's got a great brand. They've been doing it a long time. I know you guys have done their shows before in other states, whether it's Kansas City or Minnesota or Seattle, but I've never done one, so this will be my first. So I'm real excited to do it. Now, for the folks at home that don't realize, you know, Doug, Michael, and myself, we you know, back in the day, I hate to say back in the day, but we would run into each other all the time at auditions.
Yep.
You know, we would be shooting the shiz. We'd see each other. But, you know, as we get a little older and Michael has moved on, you know, to another state, and he's doing a lot of writing, and Doug is, you know, doing his thing. And I live out in the boonies in Camarillo, so we all don't get to see each other. So a lot of these conventions that we get to go to together, it's like old, you know, hometown week. Hey, Beatrice. And so it's nice to, you know, be able to do some of these conventions, say hello to people that we don't get to see a lot. And I'm real excited, especially, and I know I'm excited because John is super excited about some of the stuff that he's bringing with these VHS boxes and some of the other cool stuff that we're bringing for this weekend for the fans and for you two to see as well. So.
Yeah, these guys have been working so hard in the Doomsday.
I saw some pictures, and those boxes look pretty.
Yeah, we got the Doug Tait ones done today. We got Michael Bailey Smith. These are the Shootin the Shizz because I got these in.
Wow,
you know, they're VHS boxes. They're just cool, affordable autograph items with a bunch of keychains, magnets, and all the other stuff. And
so
some
cool.
of them you can always get the extra bag with it, which is nice to carry it around, print on both sides. It's just unique. It's cool, and they keep evolving with more and more stuff. And then for you guys, the big three, we got to pack it pretty big. So I know Tom has busted yours out. Yours were the last ones, Doug, to get busted out. We didn't know if we were going to get done. We got it done. You know, I want to make sure anything I can do on my end, the big three, my buddy Brett, and you guys, my two new buddies here, you know, have as much merch as you guys need for people to come and get signed by you guys and come meet you guys and spend time together. Now, Michael, Heather Landing Camp's going to be there. I know you guys are all doing in costume photo ops. When's the last time you did a convention with Heather or been with Heather? Has it been since the movie?
For me,
or
yeah. So mine was with Lisa Wilcox. So that's who played the lead gal in that. So it wasn't Landing Camp. So.
Oh well, no. They announced at Crypticon you were doing photos with Heather Landing Camp. Am I wrong on that, or was that a typo?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So because I saw that.
I'm not in costume whatsoever. So I've done it before. This is actually my only show I'm doing all this the rest of the year. I was supposed to go to another show, TerraCon outside of Boston, but I turned it down because my son and I mentioned this before on John and Beatrice's with the reunion of Nightmare on Elm Street 5 cast is that my son's playing at Central Michigan and they're playing Notre Dame that day on a Saturday. And,
Wow.
you know, I can't miss that, you know,
No.
No way.
Yeah, play football.
Wow.
Always go to
Cons will
conventions.
come and go. You'll be at more these type of
Yeah.
moments with your son, you know,
Yeah,
especially, you know, you're a lover of football to anyway. Oh,
Yeah.
I had to show this off the
There you go.
Super Freddy glove. I was trying
I
to
like
show it
it.
the other night. James Roth, I promised I'd show this off. It's something I'm going to get signed by you for sure.
Cool.
And yeah, I've always wanted one. And when
Cool.
got the little schematic. So yeah, I'm excited about this thing. Really, really cool in person. All
Yeah.
real metal.
You know what's great is
Freddy,
I got to go. You know,
Jason versus Freddy.
when I was in high school playing football, I played at Crespi High School,
Wow.
and I was a little bit. We lost, but I Doug Tait went to Alemany, which was our you know, we were the bitter rivals. But Doug's considerably younger than I am, so I never got to play him in any sports.
Crespi is a rival, and Notre Dame. They're the rivals of Alemany. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Notre Dame finally went co-ed. Back when I was when I went to Crespi, it was all boys. Notre Dame was all boys, and they chickened out and went co-ed.
I did not know that Notre Dame was an all-boys school, because when I went and was around, they were mixed. That's crazy. This is a very like unique thing, that the fact that we went to Valley high schools and Valley Catholic and we're doing the same thing. It's actually really crazy, dude.
It is, you know, and at Notre Dame, I shouldn't say this, but my wife Dee Dee used to work at Notre Dame for a while. And Stallone, one of Stallone's daughters, used to go to Notre Dame as well. And I'm like, oh, if Stallone comes by, chat him up a little bit so you can get your husband in one of his next movies.
Crazy.
Which, by the way, you know, Stallone is an amazing actor, but I love to death the Tulsa King.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have both been watching that series, but it's so amazing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Amazing show. But anyways, yes. So I've gotten to go see, Michael invited me to go see one of his sons play football, which was pretty cool. Me and my wife, Dee Dee, went and watched you know, he flew out and we watched his son play football. But he hasn't invited me to the Notre Dame game yet, or I might cancel a con to go watch that game.
Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty awesome. So we'll see.
Notre Dame is like, it's all about football, so those games get crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if you my history with Notre Dame. So when, you know, I was in the military before I went to college, and in the 82nd Airborne as a paratrooper, and so the chaplain of my unit played at Kansas State, heard I wanted to play college football, and says, well, I can get you to Notre Dame, no problem. I was all slated to go to Notre Dame to play. And then about 6 months before I got out with the military, he says, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Michigan. And he goes, well, you're probably going to ride the bench a bit. Let me look at the paper and see who needs some help. And Eastern Michigan hadn't won a game in a while. So I ended up going to Eastern. I started for 4 years. So yeah, and ended up going to the Cowboys after that. But I had a chance to go to Notre Dame, but now my son's going to play there. So it's pretty cool.
That's wild. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But, you know, as we're talking about, folks, if you don't know, I think I'm doing a TV show. Folks, if you don't know, we're chatting with Douglas Tait, Michael Bailey Smith, of course, the Doomsday Crypt Keeper there. We are going to be this weekend. We're real excited because we're all going to get together at Denver Crypticon. And, you know, I sometimes will talk about the brand, and Crypticon is a brand, and it's a great convention. It's not just one. Like I said, they do Kansas City, they do Minnesota, and now they're doing Denver. Yeah, for the first time. So we're real excited. I mean, all four of us are real excited to get down there. So it's going to be a big weekend. And man, I'm just I know there's a pancake place that serves the best blueberry pancakes in Denver, and I'm going to try to lose 5 pounds by Thursday. Just 5. So if I lose 5 pounds, then I can go eat 5 pounds of blueberry pancakes
My
with
dad
Doug
will
Tait.
join you. That's his favorite. Blueberry pancakes. My dad will be there with you.
And I'm looking for taco places too. So if anybody knows any good taco places in Denver, they could either let me know now.
I have a long history with Kansas City with Crypticon. I did my first one in like 2012, then did it again in like 2015. Then was supposed to do Minnesota years ago and had to cancel, and then did the last Minnesota, which I saw you at. That was the last time I saw you, right, John?
Yeah.
Was that one? Yeah.
Yep.
So obviously this is his first show in Denver, so it does have a good name though, for sure. So I'm sure he'll bring a nice crowd out.
Yeah, it's my first time there, so yeah.
They're great there. Chaz, like Doug's known him for a long time. Chaz and his team, great people. They put on an amazing show.
They do.
And the fans are, if somebody's going to Crypticon Colorado and never been to a convention or never been to a Crypticon, you're in for a treat. Such a great lineup of guests, including the 3 guys with me tonight. Yeah, I mean, you don't get any bigger at a convention than these 3 big dudes right here. I mean, there needs a script of all 3 of you guys in the Big 3 movie. I need it.
You were like a grandma laying it on super thick, brother. Super thick, but keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Hey, man, I want to see the Big 3 movie, man. I think a gangster movie with you guys would be pretty brutal. You guys are a little bit intimidating at 6'5" plus, you know. So
I'm hoping to work on Bailey Smith's movie when it gets it going. He's been working on it.
I just had I had a quote. I know we're not supposed to talk too much about, per SAG, but
no, I know.
I just had a meeting yesterday with certain people. Everything's at the gate waiting for everything to get settled, writer and actor wise, and the floodgates are going to open up. So I'm excited. He's excited. He's already talking to a ton of people, and so it's going to be really, really interesting and special. So
that's
yes,
great.
And I've had the privilege of reading that script. I don't know if you have, Doug, yet, but it's good. It's violent. It is exciting, and it is definitely something that people would flock to watch. And it obviously would be an honor to be in the movie, but I was privileged enough to have Michael trust me enough to read it, and a couple different versions of it. And
nice.
It's gotten better, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I just wrote I did more tweaks on it just recently, and like anybody that writes does this, right? After a while, you got to put it down. But if you're a writer, you know when you write something, I'm kind of getting away with this. I need to really address it, and you know how it is. So.
And you know what? Those things come with time. Like sometimes you can't figure it out, and then you put it away, and then like a month later, you're like, "Oh my God!" Out of nowhere, you're like, "That's what I need." It doesn't happen fast.
I've written another 10 screenplays, so no one's seen. Some really fun ones, and so after this one gets going, I'm gonna get these other ones out and about. So yeah, it's gonna be
that's
good.
Great, man. Good for you. Proactive.
Yeah,
I'm reading in the chats, and they're saying that John calling us the Big 3, Metallica, Megadeth, and Anthrax are going to get pissed off.
I love it.
I think I got my money on the 3 of you guys being able to handle Metallica. Now, if you guys can't, then we're going to have to change the name.
Big 3 in horror.
Big 3 in horror.
I went to a concert in LA. Yeah, went to a concert in LA. Saw Metallica and Guns N' Roses. It was with Motorhead. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was good.
Wow.
I saw them back in the day when they did the tour. I was at the show right after Hetfield got burned in Canada in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And it was a great show. Faith No More opened. They were really good. And then Metallica was awesome. Then I love Guns N' Roses. I was there even more for them at the time than Metallica. And I love Metallica. They were awesome live. And Guns N' Roses was great live, except they took about an hour and a half to get out there. You're in a football stadium. Bottles are flying everywhere. Survival of the fittest. He finally got on stage, was a little drunk or tired, was laying down on the piano, forgot some words for a little bit. But once he got rolling, he was fine. But it was a good show. It was a good memory.
Yeah.
92.
You got to be in good shape to go to concerts nowadays. If you when I was in my youth and 350 pounds, I used to love going to a Motorhead show, or I'd go to, Black Flag or the Dead Kid. I would go to all these punk shows as a kid. I would leave. So if you ever watched the movie Valley Girl, right? And you lived in the Valley, but then you would go to Hollywood to, become a man and go to Hollywood and go to these shows and drink in the parking lots and get in fist fights and all that and go to punk shows. Now at 55 years old, when someone invites me to go to a show, I'm like, oh gosh, who's playing? But I'll go, but man, and I always feel like I want to go get in that pit, and I think twice about it instead of going in there and slam dancing and hurting myself or running someone over. But it's a little different when you're a little bit older. Now, not for Doug Tait, because he's the yoga guru. In fact, I think he's going to start doing the Big 3 yoga thing, and he's going to get us all in good shape like Diamond Dallas Page is, and he's going to have these videos coming out. And I am ready, Doug.
Dude, Brett's going to be doing splits at cons.
Michael Bailey Smith has really stayed in shape. So
no. I just my girl Paige is putting some pounds on me, but it's love pounds. I love it, so it's good. I'm good.
Michael's always been in good shape.
Yeah. I think though, as you get older, like the flexibility is like one of the best things you can do for yourself. Because when you're stiff, that doesn't go well. If you take a fall or something, you can break things.
Hey, do you guys know about my Red Hot Chili Peppers story? Did I tell you that?
No.
Never have. Can I tell that story and see how much trouble?
Please.
Tell it.
Okay, so I'm bouncing in a bar in Ann Arbor, Detroit. It was called Nectarine Ballroom. It was that place I've been shot at. I've been stabbed. It just was bad. There's a lot of craziness happening. So every night was different. So Monday was new music night. Tuesday was straight up hardcore gay night. Wednesdays was band night. Thursdays was ladies night. Friday and Saturday was and Sundays were different nights. So Wednesdays was band night. They had people like Black Flag come. This is before they got huge. Black Flag, Fish, all these different bands. One night, Red Hot Chili Peppers comes in. So they're not huge yet. This is like 1986. So a while ago. I think Doug wasn't even born yet. So yeah. So anyway. so anyway. So 86. So they asked, what's the lead singer's name?
Anthony Kiedis.
Anthony Kiedis says, I would like for all the bouncers to get in front of the stage so people aren't stage diving. And right. So that's what we did. I was a head bouncer, 12 bouncers in front of the stage. We had other ones in the front to watch everything. I brought in about maybe another 15, 20 bouncers. It held 1,000 people in this bar. It's 3 levels. It was like a Roman Coliseum. It was really awesome. Toughest bar in Detroit. Really, really crazy. And so we had our hands against the stage. Our backs are against the mosh pit. And people just freaking smashing us, hitting us, punching us in the head. And then we see a foot, get stuck through it. We'd stomp on it. And then about halfway through the concert, Anthony Kiedis stops. He goes, I'm tired. He goes, you know what? Everybody in this bar, beat the shit out of the bouncers. We brawled for the rest of the night. One of my guys got stabbed, all this stuff. So we shut the concert early. They went down to the green room laughing with their girls and whatever. They came up and had to go to the front door. We were all waiting for them. My buddy had Flea sideways against the wall. I had Anthony Kiedis by the neck up against the wall, choking the life out of him. We literally picked him up and threw them out the door. Okay. Wow. And they said, this is the funny part. They go, you know what? You guys will always be bouncers. We're going to be famous. Well, they end up being famous. Now, let's flash forward. Let's say 86, 96, 2006. So 20 years later. I'm at the Orpheum Theater downtown Los Angeles at the Fuse Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. I win the best fight scene for Hills of Eyes. Who's sitting 2 or 3 rows up ahead of me? Anthony Akitas.
Wow.
So after the whole thing got done, you know how you've been to awards show, they're kind of staged when you win awards.
Yeah.
So then I walk up to him. He turns around and he goes, "Hey, congratulations." I go, "Oh, thanks. I appreciate that." He goes, at the time I had hair, so now I'm bald headed, whatever. He doesn't recognize me.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, we met before." I said, "Where?" He goes, "Oh, back in Detroit." "Yeah, I don't remember." "Yeah, well, I remember you." He goes, "Cool, man." I said, "Yeah, cool, man." We just went different ways. He didn't know. I had that dude up against
me. That is crazy.
So you're not a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. You're not cranking.
No. So ever since that, every time it comes on the radio, a song, they're a great band. I will not listen to them. And my kids, told my 2 boys that they turn the radio too. Yeah. So pretty crazy.
That's crazy. Wow.
But great band, very talented. I'm happy for them, but I got a great story. So
wow, you did get a great story out of it. Yeah. He probably didn't that night. He's probably not too proud.
The funny thing, my buddy had Flea sideways up against the wall, so it was pretty cool. And he's a tiny dude, So.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a great story.
Yeah, he needs to be in a book. You gotta start writing that book, Michael Bailey. Write that book. I know there's some stuff you can't talk about, but there's some good stuff you can.
I can. Well, are the blessings, right? So I've been blessed. We all been blessed, right? So
we have been,
and it's incredible to be able to play these different characters like Doug and all of us have played these really cool, badass characters, and people trusted their characters with us. So it's been cool.
What's great about, like I said, when we do get to conventions, we get to run into people. So I got to sit next to David Howard Thornton this weekend signing, Art the Clown. Mm. What a nice guy, and I got to
he's great.
Chew the fat with him a little bit, pick his brain. And then Butterbean was there. So Butterbean has lost 200 pounds.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He's working with Diamond Dallas Page, DDP. He's doing the DDP yoga. And he's lost 200 pounds, and he was so nice. And he's like, "Hey, I'm going to fight again." And I'm like, people don't give that guy a lot of credit. That guy has got yes, he telegraphs punches, but when he was 400 pounds and throwing a right, from way back here, people couldn't get out of the way, and he would destroy him.
You can block it, but you're still going to feel it.
Oh my gosh!
He's talking about fighting Jake Paul. I'd love to see that happen.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
That's what I heard. I'm not a Jake Paul fan,
but calling Jake Paul out. So let's see.
Butterbean still. So what is he? Was 400? He's probably about 230 right now.
You said he was 3 something in his life.
He used to be bigger than that.
Also in his
he said he was down to 300.
You're fighting a young buck, man. It's not easy.
Buff Bagwell was a couple tables over. Buff the stuff from WCW, so he looks real good. We were talking with him, and then I don't know if either of you have worked with Marty Kleba. Little Marty. Yeah, really. So Marty and I Marty used to live by me. He used to live in the valley, so we'd always go to the Munch Box, which is on Devonshire down by Topanga, which is a little hamburger chili place. And he goes, "Damn it, Schwag, I missed the Munch Box," because he lives out here now in Tennessee. But Marty's always fun to.
Detroit. Wasn't he in Detroit?
He used to be. He's from Detroit, yes.
Yeah.
No, well, I met Marty when he first came to LA. He came to LA to act, and he got a job at Universal Studios. And I was there at the time, and we did a show right when he came out, like Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein. You know what I played, you know what Marty played. But I met him when he first came out, and he had no acting credits. He had only done like the Rockettes show, and then he just blew up, dude. He got Pirates and just went on a,
he and I did a movie together called Bloodshot. So it's not the Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. It's another one. I played a vampire. I was number 1 on the call sheet, which is kind of cool.
Wow,
So
that's
it
awesome.
got cut up in production hell and never got released. It's on Amazon now, but I played a vampire that works for the CIA and he kills terrorists. It's a great role. It was written for me, but Marty was in it. He played a terrorist. It was pretty cool, and he blows me up. Pretty good.
It was a fun.
I remember
movie.
you telling me about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Great guy.
So Marty and his wife and his kid came by today, so it was good to see him. But it's fun when you get to do these conventions, and even if and this was a pretty good convention. It wasn't super busy, but it wasn't super slow, and you had the Twilight people there, which of course we're doing 300 pictures with everybody, and but the Practical Joker guys, that TV show.
Yeah.
I had no idea how big that was because they had the biggest line in the building.
Oh,
People
really?
going to see and then Joey, the guy from NSYNC. So I think he's part of that show, or he's the executive producer, was there.
Oh, wow.
So the key is that even at this age, the big three needs to start a man band so we can get these lines like Joey Fatone and those guys had. But
I'll just bounce for you. That's all I'm looking.
that's all we can lip sync. But yeah, so it's as the point is that the cons are very fun to do, and we're blessed that we can be able to go to these things and meet some of our heroes. I was very excited to meet Butterbean and get to hang out with Art the Clown for a while because I'm obviously a big fan of the Terrifier series and to get to see some of these guys. And this week coming up, we're going to be able to do it again together out there in Denver, and it's going to be fun. And John, there's a big lineup of people coming in this week, not just us.
Oh yeah, you got Heather Lanenkamp, you got Lee Waddell, one of your other friends.
Yeah. Let
me pull up the list. Who else do we got going? Oh God, off the top of my head, Brad Laurie's going to be there.
Oh, I love Brad.
Who is going to be there?
Brad Laurie. Hey, where's Doug Tait? Was he here? Schwag. All right. Yeah, I love.
Well, I need his Michael Myers autograph. That's for sure. So, let's see here. I pulled up Crypticon, and I know
Christina Elise McCarthy will be there.
This one in Minnesota.
Oh, Christina.
We got Adrian Barbeau coming, Zach Galligan, Jeffrey Combs.
Who wasn't in love with Adrian Barbeau, for God's sakes?
Yeah. I mean, I had a huge crush in The Thing. As a kid, for some reason, Swamp Thing, excuse me, not The Thing. Swamp Thing, just loved her.
I did a movie with Zach Galligan. It's one of my first movies with me, and Bernarski was in it. It was called Cyborg 3.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow.
I believe I did see that one. I did. I was a Cyborg fan, like from the first one, and I'd always rent the other one. So it's been some time since I've seen it, but I know I've seen that movie. Me and my friends, horror movies in those 80s, Jean-Claude Van Damme style movies. We were all into that. It was a big thing for us. Yeah, it's a great guest list. Heather Lanenkamp, like we said. Jake Busey's going to be there. Jeff Daniel Phillips, Richard Brake, Brian Thompson. I'm excited because I got that Arnold bust by my buddy Lonnie McCollum, Graven Images.
Yeah, I know Brian.
Get that signed. Yeah. I haven't met him, but I'm looking forward to it. Phil Fondacaro is going to be there. Willow. Let's see. Land of the Dead also. Alex Vincent, who I've met quite a few times. He was just at Kansas City with us. Andy from Chucky, Child's Play 2 Chucky series. And also Christina Elise is going to be there. Peter Cowper, he was at Kansas City. Real nice guy, great guy. He builds those tree houses. I was talking to him. That's what he does now too. Those big, like the big tree houses you see on TV now. He does those.
From My Bloody Valentine to Treehouse Masters.
Yeah, it's.
I love it.
Did you guys get the text about the ride when we get there? Did you get that text?
No.
About the pickup, about our pickup?
No.
No, you guys didn't. So we get picked up. Obviously, like they pick us up when we go to a con, and the text was, "This is just from the other day." So we got there's a hearse that's gonna pick you up. It's a working hearse. Are you okay with that? I'm like, okay. That's so random. So apparently we're getting picked up in a hearse.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Well, for you
I'm
big
down with
guys,
that.
you got plenty of leg room now. So
As long as they don't put one of us in the back, I'm good.
Well, I'll go in the back, a little nappy before the show. You know, I'm flying in Friday. So
You guys, are you flying in Friday too, Mike?
No, Thursday.
I will be there Thursday. So, Doug, you're going to miss out on we'll be the big two eating pancakes.
I'm not getting into about 8, I think. So, yeah, 8 o'clock.
Hopefully,
I find it hard to like have breakfast, a normal breakfast during showtime. Like I tend to sleep as long as possible, and then I scramble to get something quick. But I don't usually get a good breakfast meal in.
Yeah, I don't eat breakfast, so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, the Kansas City breakfast was nice. The way it was set up, because you guys weren't there, was really nice. The hotel room's right there, kind of in Canada.
Yeah.
So you open the door, breakfast buffet every morning. That was like the only meal I had time to eat, because after that, I was just really, really busy.
Craziness. Yeah.
I felt bad because even Beatrice was with me. I didn't get a chance to eat for dinner. She's like, "I'm gonna wait for you." I'll be like, "I don't think I'm gonna have time." It was crazy busy, but a good crazy busy.
We got a VIP party happening on Saturday. What's up with that? Do we know the story on that? Brett doesn't go out, so I don't know. He won't be there.
I don't go out, but if we have a VIP party, someone's gonna have to watch Michael. So I guess I'm gonna have to go.
My girl's coming, so it's
Brett goes to bed, so
I do go to bed. Listen, I'm an old man. I go to bed. Michael's soon to be married. We're both married.
Yeah.
By the way, now I have to make sure that I don't book anything in May because I got to fly to Arkansas for a wedding.
It's April. April 28th.
Oh, it's April.
I got the invite too, so I gotta see when it gets closer. Make sure I don't have a gig, but I definitely.
It's on a Sunday, so
I want to go.
It's not a Saturday.
So no excuse. It's on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It's on Sunday, and Sunday in Arkansas is a big deal too. So
it is. Everybody goes to church. It's like rush hour traffic around here.
Yeah. Well, listen. I think we've had some good stories tonight. It's obviously great to see you guys, and it'd be great to see you, Michael, again, and all three of us, and be able to hang out with John this weekend is going to be a big deal, folks. So if you haven't made plans yet, go to CrypticonColorado.com, and I believe you can go to CrypticonDenver.com. But come see us this weekend. It's going to be fun. It's not that much money to get in. It's a good bar. It's a good deal. And even if you don't want to buy anything, come up, say hello, and say, we were watching you on the Doomsday's Crypt, and I'll make sure that one of these guys gives you a kiss on the cheek or a handshake or something. So probably John. But
we should make an announcement like, hey, listen, if you say you love DK and the Schwag, we're gonna give you a free magnet or keychain or something.
Nice.
So if they come up and they say that, we'll give them a free keychain magnet or something.
Hey, the first person that comes up, I will give a signed Funko Pop too.
Wow.
That's not.
I think we're all in the same area too. So
you're next to us, and then Mike's at 75, but we're against the wall. But Mike's literally, it'd be on this side where it's looking.
I'm next to Ari.
But he's like right there at the end, so you're right by us, Mike, too.
Am I? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You're not far from us at all.
Ari Lehman?
Yeah.
Ari?
I'm right next to him. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Jason, the man that plays the weird guitar with keys on it.
Guitar.
Ari's a great guy. Ari's a prime example of how you can have fun at conventions for, as long as he's been doing it and still keep doing it. So, I'm excited to see you guys, and folks, please come up. And like I said, we will have a lot of unique, cool stuff that John has gotten created. So amongst other things that Doug and Michael are going to have at their table, if you come to the Doomsday's Crypt table, we're going to have some very cool, unique stuff that you can check out and go get these guys to sign. So appreciate both of you guys coming on tonight. I know it's almost close to Doug's bedtime. Michael never sleeps. He's probably going to get going to work here in a couple minutes. It is 11:30 where I am, and I am tired. You can see the pillow behind me, so I got to get up early for a flight to get home. And John, as always, thanks, my brother. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I have to tell Brett, thank you for telling me about this con. I didn't know about it, so I went and told my guy and the whole situation. So I appreciate that. I do.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'll take my 5% later. It's fine.
Yes.
We'll figure that out.
They're in for a treat with you guys. I've gotten to meet and know all three of you guys, and the fans are going to absolutely love you. I know you guys are going to have some amazing stuff and have amazing lines at your table, and people are going to love meeting you and also us, Brett. They're going to love meeting us at our table. We're going to have some kick-ass area. Doug's going to be next to us. We're going to have tons of Michael Myers stuff, Freddy stuff, Leatherface stuff. You name it, we got it. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. We're going to rock the house. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. For being there. Oh, you got
what the hell? Yeah, wait a minute. Oh,
I love it.
they're twins. All right, good night, folks. Good night, guys.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Peace.
See you this weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.